Hello everyone, Alex here for another Skyblock video, my second one actually, and today I'm going to be ranking some armor sets. So I'm going to be ranking all the dungeon armor that you can get from mobs that aren't that are like the cheap armor sets. So these are good like early game armor sets for dungeons that you can just buy from the auction for maybe up to 100,000 coins for the full set, maybe probably 200k for some of them, like this one, or maybe Skeletor, and they're decent in dungeons, and we're going to be ranking them on a tier list. So we're going to go S, A, B, C, and D. So yeah, let's get started. So we're going to start with Rotten Armor. Now, this is probably the armor set that's just clogging your inventory randomly, that you just picked up when you're doing dungeons. But believe it or not, this set is actually quite good when paired with something that gives defense, like a reforge, for example, heavy. So if we put this on, it gives us strength. A lot of health actually. We went up, how much health? 800 to... So we went up about 600 health, which is really good for a rare set. It gives us quite a lot of strength, almost as much as strong dragon armor, which is quite a lot. And it also gives knockback resistance to arrows, which I believe is quite good in the end if you're grinding zealots early game because of, you know, watchers. And obviously this set is really cheap, and its stats in dungeons are almost doubled, I can see here. And if we go /AH and we have a look at the Rotten Armor, you can see that 5,000 coins, 5,000 coins, 5,000 coins, boots are 7,000. So this is an insanely cheap set, and the catacombs requirement is probably, I think, 1. We'll put in the comments if I'm wrong. So this set is quite good. So for that, I'm going to put it in an A tier. Oh. Wait, what? Where's the item? Okay, that's really weird in an A tier. Next set is Heavy Armor. Now, this is probably the armor that you want to use if you want to tank in dungeons and not die. It gives negative speed, but if you wear the full set, you get plus speed depending on your defense. So if we quickly turn off all these speed bonuses, you can see in the tab menu that I'm going at 112% speed. If I sprint like this, it's quite bad, but it's alright actually. The speed doesn't really matter, because you could just grab something like Rancher boots with good health, good defense, and good speed, and then go really fast. Or you could just get like Spirit boots. I think they're Spirit boots. They give quite a lot of speed. 3.2 mil. Alright, so Spirit boots probably aren't the play here, but they're there if you want. It gives a lot of defense, which is good for tanking, as I said. There are better sets for tanking, but it's very cheap as well. 5k, 5k, 5k. So it's about the same as Rotten, so I would say Rotten is more of a Berserker set, and this is more of a tank slash healer set. So we're gonna put this in B because I think Rotten has more uses outside of dungeons as heavy. Next up is Skeleton Grunt. It is one of the 3 skeleton sets. Probably the worst out of them. Or maybe... is it? I think it's the second best. I don't really know. But it's... this is an archer set because it's skeleton armor. Now, it doesn't give much defense. It doesn't give much health. It actually gives a minuscule amount of both of those. But it gives plus arrow damage. So altogether it gives plus 20% arrow damage. And I believe I have a bow somewhere. There we go, the one that I showcased in my last video, Super Undead Bow. So if we head over here, and we go over to the crypt, right, we're here, so you can see that I'll take all my Skeleton Grunt armor off, and my bow does 58,000 damage. Just need to test if that's consistent. Yep, 58,000. And if we put our Skeleton Grunt armor on, bear in mind this isn't reforged, like, at all. It does... oh, what was that number? 80,000. So that's an insane markup. If we use something like Shadow Assassin, which isn't an archer, you get 119. So it's not as good as something that you can buy with, you know, more coins, but it is still a very good earlier game armor set. Yeah, 80,000 damage. So we will go back to the island and put this on the tier list. So it's quite early game. It's okay for damage. It might get you through like a floor 1 dungeon with the health and defense. So I think this deserves to be in C tier. Because it's literally just useful inside of dungeons, and it's not even that useful there anywhere. The best out of the skeleton set is Skeleton Master. Now, again, this isn't reforged at all. This gives a lot more crit damage. The boots give the most crit damage, it looks like. Don't know why that is. But you can probably combine a set like this with something else and get like the perfect critical damage with Archer. But this set is very good. Not just for Archer, but just generally as a damage set, it is very, very good. Now, I believe it doesn't give too much more defense or health. Let me just see. 122, 882. It gives slightly less defense and health, or more health by a tiny amount and less defense by a tiny amount. But it's really with the damage with these skeleton sets. So I just remembered you can just warp to the crypts. So if I shoot Cryptical here, alright, just get these out of the way. Singular Cryptical, you get almost 100,000 damage, and that's because of the 5% damage increase with arrows and the increase your damage by 25% from the full set bonus. So I wouldn't actually recommend mixing and matching the pieces with this set, because that full set bonus is insanely powerful. You can see there. How much damage do you do without? You do. It's almost a 2 times damage increase. And again, that's for like not just bows. That's just for everything. So if we go no armor, if we go no armor, backstab with a liver dagger, 61k, 62k, and then if we put this on, we do the same thing. Wait a minute. I'm not getting these backstabs. 81. So it's a about 25% increase and a 50% increase with the bow. So this is definitely worth it if you want to grind some kind of mob. Or in dungeons it is probably quite good. We see on the auction how much they're going for. 8k, 8.7. So it's a bit more expensive than the other sets, but I think that bit more money that you spend is worth the damage and not having terrible health and defense, like with the other armor. Wait, no, it's the same. Never mind. So we're going to put this back here, and this set is extremely good and powerful if you have the right setup, so I'm gonna say A. Now next we have the middle-ish set. Oh, it might be the worst one. This is the Skeleton Soldier set. Now this is basically Skeleton Master, but it's a little bit different. Increase the damage you deal with arrows, an extra 25%. Okay, so I don't actually... Okay, so this one makes it so your bows don't consume ammo as well, which is very good. So it's slightly worse, I believe. So let's put this thing on. Gives about the same health. It gives a bit more defense, I believe. Let's go to the crypt and test out this damage. So, without, there is 58,000 damage, and with the armor, 93. So it's almost as good as Skeleton Master. So yeah. I don't really know what else to say about this, because it's just almost as good as Skeleton Master. If you're gonna get a set of Skeleton, then you should probably get the Master. Skeleton Soldier. 6k, so it looks to be about the same price, but a little bit worse. So it's good, I guess, if you're just using it just randomly, if you just have it. But because it's outclassed in every way by Skeleton Master, actually I'm going to put Skeleton Master at S tier. But because this is outclassed in every way by Skeleton Master, because it's the same but it has more damage, I'm going to put it as a B. Next up is Zombie Soldier. Now, this set is strange because it gives a lot of strength, but not much of anything else. It gives a lot of defense as well. So normally you would just use the Zombie Knight chestplate in the middle of a Shadow Assassin set, because the full set bonus on this is useless. Zombie Knight gain plus 50 defense when using the Zombie Knight sword. Why would you use that? You could just put hot potato books on 3 of the pieces and that's like the same thing. Also, I don't know if you can hear the Discord pings. If you can, then sorry. So it's completely useless to use as a full set. It gives quite a bit of defense actually. How much increases that? 600 defense, which is actually really good. Bear in mind this does have hot potato bucks on it, the chest plate, but it hardly gives any health. Yeah, it gives about 300 health. So let's go test this damage. So without, let's just clear some of these. Right, without is 62,000, and with full armor, let's just get these out of the way, you get 81. So that's a double damage kind of deal. I think there is also a Zombie Knight sword. Zombie Knight sword. Yes, there is. Gain plus 30 strength when used with the Zombie Knight armor. I'm guessing that isn't going to be as good as what I have. The liver dagger. I could pay 5 mil to test this, but I'm not going to. That seems like a dumb idea. So yeah, it's okay for damage. It's alright for Archer as well. It gives a lot of defense, which arguably is better than health with the other ones. But yeah, this is more of a Berserker kind of deal that you're getting here. And I believe this is decently expensive as well. 10k for the leggings, 25k for the helmet, 30k for the boots, and 38k for the chest plate. So yeah, it's a lot more expensive than the other ones, which you can get for like 20k. This is more like 100, 150k ish. So just because of its price and how it's kind of just outclassed by Skeleton Master, I'm gonna put it as A, because it gives damage but not enough health and defense. But Rotten is a lot cheaper and gives, well, all you need is a damage increase if you want to farm zealots or something in the early game. So that's where it's gonna stand. And next we have Zombie Soldier. Now the whole point of Zombie Soldier is your survivability evenly, so it gives decent defense, decent health. It doesn't give any damage increase, which is, you could if they were to buff Zombie Soldier, you could get a bit of strength from this, but I think it's fine as it is, because for each Zombie Soldier set within 30 blocks, you actually get 30 defense. So you can have up to 5 people near you. No, up to 4 people near you in dungeons, because 5-player teams. And if they all have full Zombie Soldier, all of those full set bonuses will be triggering, which will give maths 240 defense, which is 120 defense, which is actually quite good. But it is, I think it's kind of expensive. We do Zombie Soldier, 18k, 19k, 20k, 25k. Yeah, so this is not as expensive as Zombie Knight, but not as cheap as something like Skeleton Master, Rotten, or Heavy, which are better for survivability or damage. So I think because of its none of the damage increase and its stats being kind of mediocre and the set bonus not really helping that much, I'm gonna put it as a B. Last but maybe not least is Skeletor. Now, Skeletor's a bit of a weird set because the only place that you can actually kill Skeletors is in floor 3 and above, I believe. And if you've gotten to floor 3 and above, then you must have a better armor set than this, because this is just so mediocre. So it gives +1 strength and 1 crit damage for every 10 Skeletor kills with this armor set, I'm guessing. And each piece grants a 1 second cooldown reduction on bone placing. I don't really know what that is. Wait a minute, I might be able to search it. Alright, I don't really know what this does, but that's a 4 second cooldown reduction, which I'm guessing is quite good. I don't really know though. But this does give quite a decent amount of crit damage. Actually, a lot of crit damage. This is really good. And it doesn't seem like there's a cap for the amount of strength and crit damage that you can actually get with this. There might be a cap, but it doesn't look like it, which is really good, because you can just keep going with this. You could get millions and billions of strength if you have the time and patience. So this is actually quite good. So we're gonna pop this bad boy on, and we're gonna go to the crits. So without it's a 58k. Let's get this out of here. 58k, yep. And then full Skeletor, 91k. Not as good as Skeleton Master. Alright, let's see. Backstab with Livid. 62k, and then full Skeletor. 88k. So that's really good for melee. And with the plus strength, it's quite good as well. And I think if you max this out and take the time to actually get this like high Skeletor kills and good reforges, a couple stars on it as well, this could be better, and a lot better than Skeleton Master. I believe it's quite expensive though. Okay, how do I spell Skeletor? Okay. Cut that bit out. No one is allowed to see how bad I am at spelling. So, wow, lag, swag lag. Oh, that rhymes. I'm so good. Right. Here we go. 10k, 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 10k. Alright, so this is about the same as Skeleton Master. So if you're willing to put in the time and effort to actually max this set out, it could be the best set in the game for damage. But realistically, you're not going to get this better than, say, full Necron. But you could. You actually could. That's a very big possibility, because you only need 400 Skeletor kills to get 40 crit damage and 40 strength. And if we AH Necron, I think that's how much. Yeah, 40 and 30. So that makes it immediately better. So I think this could easily be the best damage set in the game. But I might be wrong with the how it could go forever. So I might actually max this set out. That could be a good challenge. So I think on its own, it's not as good as Skeleton Master, and it's only just as good as Skeleton Soldier. and it's cheaper than Skeleton Master, it's cheaper than Zombie Knight, and does more damage than Zombie Knight, so I think another S tier. So if we just put this back. So, that is my tier list for early game dungeon sets. So, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something from this, I hope you can go away and like get a dungeon set and actually be good at dungeons, because the Berserk guide that I uploaded kind of expensive, just a little bit. But if you did enjoy, leave a like, comment if I got something wrong, especially that Skeletor thing, because I believe that that could, if people grinded enough, that could be the best damage set in the game. That could be insane. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Oh, before you go, only a small percentage of people that are subscribed have brains, like I said in the last video. And if you do have a brain, you will subscribe to my YouTube channel.